Welcome to Changing Latitudes. It's an early April morning. The temperature is going to be perfect today to get some work done. Today we're going to work on a lot of trenching and starting our French drains around the entire property. We've done some work in this regard last year, cut down the west side of our driveway and finished up around the retaining wall that I shared out on the prior videos. But this is now the finishing work, right? We have the east side of the driveway, the turnabout, and I am standing in the turnabout right now. So, a lot to get done, and let's get to it. So I thought to stand right here and show you kind of the finished product. This is some of the work that I did last year on the French drains. What you see on top obviously is pavers, and we had a nice experience this year where this system actually worked. Each one of the pavers are gapped out such that the melting snow had dripped through and down into the French drain and out to the creek below. So it works out really nice. We're going to expand this around the entire driveway. Tons of work. You're talking about probably about 1,000 to 1,200 linear more feet to go. So a lot of time on the ground and punching it in, but it's worth it. It really kind of sharpens up the place. Looks great. As a start to this French drain paver rework of this section, we're going to take out this curb. Nothing wrong with the curb. It's nice. It would have worked. Unfortunately for me, I want the pavers to go 100% around the 360. So I'm going to have him rip this up and dig the trench for the French drain, and then we're going to run it around all the way. When doing a project like this, you always have to consider what is in the ground. Of course, call 811 and find out where the location of things. The good news for us is we know a ton of what's in this area, and frankly, the entire support systems of a modern house are right here. We have water lines running through here. We have internet lines, and also as well electrical lines. So there's quite a bit of activity in this space that we have to avoid as we dig around. And on top of that, we have all these large trees with, of course, massive root bases. So we've also have to decide how far to go down and to avoid that and not to do any damage to our trees. A key reason for putting in the pavers is to make sure that there's a crisp look along that driveway up against the grass. As you can see here, the grass is growing into the driveway. So we're going to clean that up first, bring the driveway back to the width that we are looking for.
Are we going,
we don't
need to,
okay, so it's 12 foot, 12 inches, plus maybe a 4-inch base, plus a 3-inch top, so that's what, 719? It's about what your bucket is.
yeah.
When your bucket was flat, that's about from here to your guy. Now, I was saying around the trees, do we want to pick it up a little bit so we don't get any roots?
I would see it.
Yeah. Because if we could shallow it up there, it only make it the width of the pipe.
Yeah.
Some rock, no big deal because it's already so downhill there.
Yep. Okay.
So we can go shallow around the trees and then bring it back to its normalcy.
Okay.
Here. And you do know we're cutting across the road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paint mark all the way down.
Nice. Okay, so we're on the inside of the line, or should I say the grass side?
Yep.
Okay. What you give me that look for? Because I've said it 10 times?
No, because I was just going to say, right there, we'll start right at the fiber.
Yeah. As you just heard, Ron and I were discussing the depth of the dig. And of course, when we get up and around the trees, we have to make sure that that depth is shallowed out. So what do we definitely need? We definitely need, if the French drains are going to be placed around that tree base, that 4-inch pipe call it upwards of 4.5 inches thick pipe, needs to be considered. So, and then of course you need a minor amount of chip rock, that 3/8 1/4 inch chip rock, to be placed on top so that you can level out the pavers. So I knew up and around the trees we were going to be extremely shallow. We'd have little drain rock in that area. Of course, it has great down slopes and all that, so the water doesn't necessarily stay in that area anyway, but the French drain is put in there just in case there would be any accumulation of water and it would run its way out. Again, one of the tasks here for building out this French drain system was to make sure that the pavers didn't heave up from the frost. So I wanted to make sure the French drain was down. So that 4-inch pipe, if you go back to the calculation that I just shared with Ron, I said something around 19 inches in depth is how we wanted to dig. And of course, that's an estimate that, as close as you can get kind of thing. So, if you add up together, it's about 5 inches of pipe. Then you have about 3 inches of chip rock. So those are the two hold points that you kind of want to do. You want to make sure that you have your chip rock and your pipe as consideration. So that's 8 inches. Then you have a 3-inch brick. So adding into 11 inches. And the distance between 11 and 18, 19 inches in cut is the drain rock, so that you can afford the water to go through the drain rock and make its way down. So that's basically how I structured it, and it also aligns very well with the wrap. So I wanted to avoid over wrapping, so I wanted to make sure kind of max that wrap out, so that I tied it together with the pins and made sure that it's all nice and easy to put together. When closing out the wrap, you do a ton of crawling. I just simply put on some knee pads and pull in the two sides and hook it together with a simple staple. Of course, it's going to be held together in place by the stone that we're going to put up on top of the chip rock. You do have to crawl along and put it all together and keep the sides out of the way when you're dumping in the original drain rock. So there's quite a bit of just effort that needs to be put into it to make sure that it comes together correctly. Whether it be the drain rock or the chip rock, it's easier for me to have Ron go ahead and fill that in for me as I kind of watch and guide what the dump rate should be. Obviously, this is, an estimate. It's a good range. When you come back to do the pavers or even the wrap, you do have to run into the fact if you have overfilled or underfilled, you have to make your adjustments. After a long day of trenching and putting in French drains, of course the wrap around that, the drain rock, and of course this chip for a 1/4 to 3/8 chip that's on here as well, thought I'd just close out the video. We did run, and it wasn't caught in the video, a series of irrigation lines, and as well as the French drain. I just didn't record, to be fair. So the irrigation lines that are feeding here, there's 3 different lines that will manage this area here, and as I go along and putting on the pavers, I have to deal with those. So I'll talk about that a little bit over the next couple of videos. But the French drains are laid in. It's all the way to the street now, and I'm really excited about that. So as the next steps come together and we put in the pavers, I'll share that out as well. So until next time, thank you for watching. See you soon.